Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is chapter 74 of Touch. This one is titled Hiyoko. Mi is a nice name, you slurred, giving him a wonky smile. She's hallucinating slightly from the gas, Hawks. She'll be okay once she's off it, you heard the doctor say from behind a screen that was covering the lower half of your body. What's this doing here? You asked as you tapped on the blue plastic. That's to stop you from seeing the doctor cutting out the baby, Hawk said as he stroked your hair and kissed you on the cheek, making sure not to get in the way of the pipe that you were still holding in your mouth and sucking on occasionally. He's cutting my baby? You gasped, slurred. I need to stop him. Hawks watched as you scrunched your face up. What's wrong, chicken? He asked. I can't move my legs, you slurred. The one on my left feels really heavy, but my two right ones are a little lighter. Two? You have 3 legs? Hawks asked with a chuckle. Yeah, don't you? You shot back. Yeah, well, he started to reply. Don't answer that, the doctor called to Hawks from behind the screen. Was that God talking? You asked Hawks when you heard a voice come from seemingly nowhere. Yes, Hawks replied. He's delivering our baby. God is delivering my baby? You gasped in awe. Hawks nodded with a smile. Then he went quiet as he listened to the doctor talking with his colleagues. Everything okay, Doc? He asked, still staying down behind the screen. Your little one has decided to get up under your wife's ribcage and his wing is caught, the doctor said. Just then one of the monitors that you'd been hooked up to started beeping wildly. Doctor, she's bleeding internally, a nurse who was watching the monitor yelled. Ah, damn, the doctor grunted. Hey, me? You asked softly to Hawks, still thinking his name was Me. I'm just going to have a sleep, okay? You mumbled as you slipped unconscious. No, Yin, no, stay with me, baby. It sounded like everyone was talking underwater as your eyes closed. There was the cry of a baby, people shouting, beeping noises. I just want quiet. Why can't everything be quiet, you thought. Then slowly everything went silent, and you felt warm and comfy. The pain had stopped as well. There was a bright light, and you squinted as you shielded your eyes with one hand. It's okay, Yin, a voice said to you. Your baby, Hiyoko, is okay. He is? You asked as you looked around. Yes, and you'll be fine too. Just sleep for now. You've done well, the voice said. Okay, you said as you closed your eyes. Suddenly everything went black and you gasped. She's back! She's back! A voice said loudly, and it's almost as if their voice reverberated through you and you coughed. Turn the defib off, you heard someone yell, and you opened your eyes. You looked around and saw clinical nurses and doctors everywhere. She's stabilising, a nurse called out from the screen of monitors. Oh, thank God, the doctor said with relief. Yin, can you hear me? Another doctor asked from beside you, and you rolled your head to look at him as you nodded. You winced as you tried to move, and he placed a hand on your shoulder. Don't move, Yin, he said softly. We'll be done soon, he added. You could feel something touching your stomach and pulling at it. Oh, they must be stitching me up, you thought. After the surgery, you were wheeled out into the hallway, down towards the recovery ward. The minute you exited the surgical ward, Hawks was by your side. Baby, he called softly to you, and you looked at him and smiled. You're okay, he said with the most relieved look on his face, tears streaming down his cheeks as he walked beside the hospital bed. Our little boy is okay too. He's in the nursery, he said. Oh, I have a baby now, that's right, you thought. When can I see him? You croaked, your mouth dry from the anaesthetics. I'll bring him up to your room once you're ready, Hawks said as he wiped his eyes. He's gorgeous, Yin, he really is. I want to see him, you wailed softly. Soon, beautiful, soon, he said with a smile. Once you were in the recovery room, Hawks went to get your little baby. He returned shortly, pushing the hospital crib. He still needs a name, babe, he said as he pushed the trolley in beside the bed, then pulled the baby cart out of the plastic sleeve hanging from the front of the crib. He weighs 3.8 kilo, 53 centimetres long, wingspan of 58 centimetres long, born at 3:10 a.m. on January 11th. Oh, you gasped as you looked in. He's so tiny. Your little one was wrapped up in the hospital blanket, with only his little head poking out. Hawks reached for the bed remote and slowly sat it up so that you were in a more upright position. Then he gently lifted your little bundle out and placed him in your arms. What do his wings look like? You asked Hawks as you gazed down at your tiny little baby. They're white, Hawks said excitedly, and massive. Really? You said. I want to see them. As you unwrapped your little one, you remembered the name of that the voice had called your boy, and you looked up at Hawks. Hiyoko, you said. His name's Hiyoko. Wow, that was quick, Hawks said with a laugh. Someone told me to call him that, he said sheepishly. Someone? Hawks asked curiously. Yeah, I saw a white light and someone spoke to me and they told me his name was Hiyoko. Just then you unwrapped your little bundle and his large white wings fell open from being wrapped up around him. Oh, he exclaimed with surprise. They are huge, aren't they? Hawks smiled. He'll be a great hero someday, he said softly. Just then little Hiyoko opened his eyes and blinked at you, his hazel green irises glowing as he tried to focus on your face. You gasped softly. Hawks, he's beautiful, you gushed as you looked up at your winged hero husband. His eyes are stunning. They're a mix of our eyes, he replied with a smile, gazing lovingly at you. You gazed back at him and all of a sudden you were overcome with emotion. You put a hand to your mouth as tears welled in your eyes. Hawks pushed the crib aside and grabbed for you over the rail of the hospital bed, burying his head into the crook of your shoulder as he broke down. I thought I was going to lose you, he whispered in a broken voice. What happened to me? You replied in an equally broken voice. Just then the doctor entered and Hawks pulled back from you. Yin Takami, the doctor addressed you softly. How are you feeling? I don't know, you replied honestly as you wiped your eyes. What happened, Doc? Well, he said with a sigh, your gorgeous little one here punctured your spleen with his wing, and you died for 3 minutes, but we got you back. Oh, wow, you said, bursting into tears again. Hawks was doing his best to hold it together, but was failing as tear after tear slipped down his cheek. The doctor then went on to talk about your bub and what you could expect over the next few weeks. The nurse will be in soon to show you how to breastfeed your little one, he said with a smile. He has a good appetite. We gave him a bottle to fill him up while we were still saving your life, and he drank the whole thing. You let out a little snort hiccup of laughter. He gets that appetite from me, you said with a chuckle as you rubbed your eyes. She steals all my food, Hawks chimed in as he wiped tears away. Just then little Hiyoko let out a little baby squeak, and you and Hawks immediately dove to give him attention, and the doctor smiled to himself. Well, that was a high-key emotional chapter. Is everyone okay? Have we all survived? There ends chapter 74. Stay tuned for chapter 75.